Today, the prosperity and the excellence that the Cherokee Nation and its people have earned time and time again in their long existence from antiquity to the present is the same challenge that our ancestors faced with incredible will to not just survive, but to flourish. This is the legacy that has been handed to us. Now, it is our turn to step up and meet the challenge to prosper and excel once more as a people, a culture, a society, and a nation.
Birds bring the messages of loved ones to me. Now all creation and the elders I see, taking me by the hand and guiding us all. Thank you, Creator, Idi Jale God.
Father, we just thank you this evening we're able to assemble here. As we start anew with a new council, Father, I just ask that you just be with each and every one, Lord, that the only desire of this council will be to help with constituents, Lord, that they may have better health and better housing and everything, Lord, that we can help them with. Lord, in your name that we'll take ourselves, Lord, away and let them be in through our eyes, Lord, that we can see the needs of each and every one out there. We just thank you for this blessing that you have bestowed on this nation. Without your guidance, Father, there would be nothing. But with your help, Father, that we're able to be here this evening. In your name we give thanks. Amen. Amen.
At this time, we'll do the roll call.
Bill England,
Here.
Bill John Baker,
Here.
Dr. Connor, here. Sarah Collins, here. Joe Christian,
Here.
Meredith Fraley, here. John Garland,
Here.
Chuck Thompson,
Here.
Bill Johnson,
Here.
John Keener, Linda O'Leary, Jackie Bob Martin, Bill Ryan Stocktown, David Thornton, Bill Cherokee, here.
All council members are present. We do have a forum. Thank you for attending this meeting. Now I would ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Mr. President, I move that we approve the minutes. Do I hear a second?
Second motion.
Motion's made. Second. Carried. And now I would like to present the Deputy Chief of the Cherokee Nation, Chad Smith. I'm sorry, Chad.
I'll be understanding that.
Okay. Bear with me. All those in favor of approval of the minutes, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? So it's carried. Now, Chad. The chief will deliver the State of the Nation address.
It's my great honor to appear in front of you this September 15th, 2003 for the State of the Nation, Cherokee Nation. I know that there's 17 of us that share the excitement for this evening because it's the first council meeting in a new term. We've all had great aspirations and great hopes to dedicate ourselves to being statesmen, talking about cooperation, the future of the Cherokee Nation in the long term. It's an exciting time to my Deputy Chief and our council, men and women. It's my great honor to be here with you this evening. This is the first council meeting we've had since August 14th. A number of things that have transpired. This council, through our orientations and inaugurations, has shown a tremendous willingness to work together for our Cherokee people. In the coming days and weeks, I certainly look forward to the continuing cooperation. One of the biggest works of the Cherokee Nation, and especially our council, is a budget. And there must be some magic to that. One of our biggest challenges and opportunities and responsibilities as elected officials is to meet our constitutional mandate of passing a balanced budget on time. With your indulgence, let me just go briefly through what our budget process is about and why it's so important. The Constitution provides for a balanced budget, one of our greatest mandates. It has two parts, income side and expenditure side. Our comptroller, according to our Constitution, certifies the funds that we will receive in the coming year. The second part of that is the expenditures. And we pass a balanced budget. But it's the council who must approve that budget subject to law that I sign off on also. It's a great time of making decisions. Where to put our scarce resources. Some things have to go undone. Other things at the moment are more critical. So we're in that process. By Constitution, on July 30th, we must present the administration's proposal to the council. We did that. Since that time, we've had committees formed, and the committee that carries the process of the budget is the Finance and Executive Committee. We sent our budget over, and we began the discussions early. We received a budget back from the council, which isolates an opportunity that we have as elected officials. And that opportunity is a controversy that was carried over from the last term. That opportunity is how to best deal with emergency and imminent needs of our Cherokee people. In the past budgets, there's been a provision that I contested, its legality and its wisdom, and that was a general assistance fund that was administered by the council. We've had the opportunity to visit our court. Unfortunately, our court has not given us clear definition. So this is our great opportunity to come together to discuss things, to work out a compromise so we can meet the principles and objectives and goals of our Cherokee people. The budget was scheduled for staff hearings last week. We have 26 staff people that are on call, ready and present, to present the administration's justification for a budget. We've had some difficulty in getting a firm date for that, and as the council will understand, with 26 people, they have responsibilities in addition to those of advisor the council has to budgetary needs. I did receive last a letter from one of the chairs of the Executive Finance Committee meeting concerning this matter. Concerning the council's busy schedule, as chair of the Executive Finance Committee, I declined the offer to meet. The council's attorney with members of the council has successfully outlined the appropriate guidelines to assist councilors in their decision-making process regarding general assistance. The continued effort on the administration's part is persistently pursuing the legislative guidelines for the legislature's general assistance is not necessary and is becoming a time-consuming situation that should not exist. I would reoffer and request an opportunity to visit with the council about this very, very serious issue. It's a great opportunity, as I said. Basically, the question as we can understand is there are different classes of folks that will fall through the cracks with our federal programs, and we all know our federal programs have very strict guidelines. We don't spend the money exactly the way they permit. We either pay it back, or we pay it back with penalty for our audit. So the proposal that we have ready to present to the council is to have a imminent need fund administered by our General Assistance to Tribal Services people. They have an $800,000 federal budget. This must be strictly construed to those guidelines. And unfortunately, sometimes those guidelines are much too stringent to help people truly in need. Let me give you one example. Or even child welfare people, when they go out and pick up a family, and pick up a child, anytime that child hasn't eaten properly for the day, says dirty clothes. We don't have those kinds of funds available to get that child a hot meal and clean clothes before he's placed in his foster placement. So we acknowledge that there's a place that folks are falling through the cracks. So we recommend that the council fund an imminent need program of tribal services. But the council make referrals to that fund. We can advise the council as the status of those referrals and provide the monthly reporting. And this would eliminate some controversy over legislative branch and executive branch functions. We can expedite that process so those folks can be attended to immediately. So we'd like to discuss these proposals with the council as earliest opportunity. As we know, we must have a budget on September 30th to meet our congressional, our constitutional mandates. Let me share with you some points of interest. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock at Southwest City Hospital, we will be having a reception to welcome a new air ambulance service to Tallahassee. This service will work with our EMS and Hastings Hospital to save lives because it will cut transportation time in half compared to the helicopters that are based in Tulsa. The public is welcome to come. Our supporting football team has opened the season with 2 shutout wins. Is everybody here from Gore? No, I'm not rubbing it in. I know we don't have very many people from Gore either, but the first 2 games was 43-0 and 35-0. And besides what shows on the scoreboard is just a phenomenal, just really a phenomenal spirit that's involved in Sequoia High School. It's just not on athletics where you can see football players come together and enjoy each other's company and striving as a team. You see it in the hallways at Sequoia. You can see a sense of determination, desire to learn. It's a very refreshing experience, and I invite each of the council, any opportunity you might have, to just come up and stroll the halls of Sequoia to see what a great institution it's becoming. Friday night there is a concert. Sequoia will be at Morris Place, but also we have a community opening at Dry Creek. This is the 26th at 6 p.m. And so I'm sure Joe and Jack and Bob will want to attend that, and I'll take the rest of y'all over to Morris and watch football. This is one of 8 buildings that will be scheduled for grand opening. It's been a great project, and I would invite the general public to go. Because if you really want to get a sense of enthusiasm, God-giving, a sense of coming together and working for the benefit of the community, it's really quite contagious and quite rewarding. Tonight we have awards for our firefighters. As many of you know, the Cherokee Nation firefighters were one of the first groups to respond to the Space Shuttle Columbia disaster of Texas earlier this week. Our fire dancers performed outstanding work locating debris to help NASA understand what went wrong. The folks at NASA and the Columbia Accident Investigation Center sent the Cherokee Nation a letter of appreciation for our help in this tragedy, but the real credit goes to our fire dancers who search day after day. Some of them are here tonight. I'd like to present this recognition to them. If you will, please come up when I call your name. We'll read all the names, even though some are not in attendance. Henry McLean, Daniel Brown, J.D. Creek, Grant Lee, Robert Rubin, Jody Britt, Christopher Jones, Jonathan Jones, William Contreras, Terry Thompson, Danny Garrett, Max Matt, Lloyd Bird, Roger Jackson, James Sotai, David Collins, James Lehman, Quentin Hunter, Kenny Van, Don Summers, and Brian Osborne. Leonard Wolf and Nikki Weaver are part of the administrative team. So let's give each one of these a token of our appreciation for our residents. I couldn't help but notice these guys are in shape. And each will receive a duplicate of this certificate of recognition. Okay, can y'all scrunch together?
Davey scrunch. Yeah, bring it up. Smile. One, two, three.
The council would like for y'all to line up and come up here so they can shake hands. Congratulations. Y'all line up and go through there. Councilman Clark.
bridges.
I'd like to introduce our new Mr. Cherokee, Raven Bruner. You come forward, Raven. Mr. Jack Brown, who's going to look for Raven is from Stillwell. She's a freshman at NSU majoring in pharmacy. She's on the Cherokee Youth Council and serves as an executive secretary for the United National Indian Youth Tribal Council. She's a storyteller and traditional artisan. If you would like to schedule her appearance, you can visit Nancy Scott, extension 2259. Let me just briefly say, and Raven would say the same thing, that we were all honored not only her performance, but by the performance of the other candidates, contestants in the Miss Cherokee. Several years ago, the whole premise of the Miss Cherokee changed from a beauty pageant to a leadership pageant, a leadership contest. And each one of those contestants, they had platforms to prepare and read. It was really quite amazing as the quality of intellect and articulation, of foresight and leadership that our young women have. So it's a very proud time for us all. Raven, would you care to say a word or two?
Yo, Nagamu, Genku, Awadonai. Hello, my name is Raven Bruner. I would just like to say that these past couple of weeks have been great so far. And this past weekend I was at Bartlesville for the Indian Summer Festival, and Deputy Chief Grayson and Councilman England and Councilman Johnson were there. And it was really great to see all of us there. And Jenna Jo Scudder, she's also on the council with me. She was Crown Princess there. And I was looking forward to a great year working with all of you. And I really appreciate your support and prayers throughout this year. Thank you.
In conclusion tonight, I'd like to recognize two of our former councilmen, Harold DeMoss and Barbara Scott. They began a legacy, and I believe they're here to make sure we don't drop the ball. So if y'all will stand with us, acknowledge you.
And now we move on to the action of unfinished business. An act enabling the permanent location of the Cherokee Tribal Council.
President, I'd like to table this unfinished business until a later date. Some of the new council hasn't been able to thoroughly analyze this, and therefore we request that it be tabled, and I'd like to make that motion.
Mr. Chairman, I would second that.
Okay, the motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. All opposed, no. Motion's carried. And now we move on to committee reports. Mr. Troublescourt, Constitution Commission.
Thank you.
I think after looking at Todd Hembry and myself serving on this commission is hazardous duty. Anyway, this thing comes off the next couple of days, so I'm ready. Anybody got hacksaw, we can take care of it tonight. Well, this will be another real short report. I want to first of all congratulate everybody and the new members on the council. We look forward to working with you in the process that's to start with the chief mentioned on the budgets and all that kind of good stuff, and I wish you well in your deliberation. It's a serious endeavor, and it's one that I'm sure you look forward to, and I'm sure that knowing the quality of the council that we've had in the past, and we can expect in the future that good things are going to happen. As I briefly mentioned in the last month's report, we're in the process, according to our legislation, is that the commission will end its business 6 months after the vote on the new amended Constitution. So there have actually been 2 votes, and we're in the process of actually closing down the official business of the commission and headed toward, hopefully, some word yet from the Bureau or in recognition of the vote of the people. And we have no idea, we have yet to receive any communication on where that process stands from the Department of Interior or what their response is going to be. What we have discussed doing is, as an independent commission, we want to and will be sending a letter to each of the 3 branches of government, which essentially will outline the procedures that we're going through to shut down, the records maintenance, the translation. Ed Jumper is our administrative assistant, and he is completing the process of translating the new Constitution into the Cherokee syllabary. We have almost completed the process of digitizing all of our public hearings and all of the records and stuff. We have some documents that have been made available to us that historically, when we started this process, we didn't even know still existed and had just been referenced in different historical documents. And Jay Ham has done a really good job of ferreting those things out. And the Library of Congress has requested a copy of and has offered to provide some funding toward our efforts to make sure that this record is permanently preserved, not only here at the Cherokee Nation, but it will be in the Library of Congress, and a number of universities have also requested copies for their historical research purposes. And as far as I know, in the modern history of the Cherokee Nation, this commission, according to our legislative authorities, was the first and only truly independent and autonomous commission that was set up as independent of the 3 branches of government to work totally apolitical and to serve in a capacity to represent people, to bring the issue of constitutional questions to a vote of the people. And we have completed that mission, and we're quite pleased with the way the process went, and especially with the outcomes of that. So we look forward to discussing our closeout budget with you, and it'll be a real short 6-month process, and we will be completed. Again, we would like to know and have you all be aware and keep abreast of the situation as far as some sort of acknowledgement or recognition of what the people have gone through and the vote of this, so that when it's time to implement the Constitution, the new Constitution has some very stringent implementation things in it. And one of the things that wasn't necessarily anticipated was, how long is it going to take before there's some official acknowledgement or recognition from the Department of Interior for that to happen? Of course, being the radical that I am, I said my deal was, as soon as the last vote was counted, let's put that little thing and implement it, and let's move forward with it, because it is the will of the people. That's where our sovereignty resides. So we look forward to working with you to explain our budget process, explain what the detailed costs are to be our shutdown and when our expectations are of closing out our business as a commission. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon. Next, we have the Housing Authority report. Mr. David Sutherland.
Good evening. I got a couple of things to report. We were unable to get a quorum for our August board meeting. We combined the August and September meetings, and it was held on September the 9th, last Tuesday. The next regular scheduled meeting will be October 21st at 5:30. It's possible that a special meeting could be held to conduct interviews with executive director candidates. The board has identified 2 individuals they would like to interview, and those interviews are being scheduled. The board has an executive search firm looking for candidates. The position has been vacant since February, and there hasn't been a time frame for filling it, but I think the board would like to get it filled pretty soon. Since there are several new members on the council, I'd like to take a little time to talk about a mortgage program administered by the Housing Authority. It's called Title VI. You've already heard of Title VI, don't know an awful lot about it. If a family's income falls between 60 and 80% of the national median income, we require the family to participate in this mortgage program. It's a 4% 30-year mortgage program. We closed the first loan on March 5th of this year. We have approximately 250 approved applications at this time, and we have closed on a total of 87 loans to date. That's my report, short tonight, but I'll be happy to answer any questions if someone has one.
David, Tommy, did you say how many houses are still vacant?
Yes, in the neighborhood of about 40. But they're ongoing. A lot of those that were vacant up front have been filled. I know up in J, they filled the last, have families for the last 2 that was vacant up there at J. But we got 14 homes in Tulsa, North Tulsa, that we're going to dispose of, which is going to bring the number down greatly.
Thank you.
More questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, David. Next, we have Cherokee Nation Enterprises. And I believe Mr. Keenan will be speaking for Mr. Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the Tribal Council, Chief Smith. It is my first time to be in front of the legislative body, and I just want to say it's an honor to be here this evening. The financial outlook for Cherokee Nation Enterprises for the month ending in August is just north of $3.6 million, which is up from $2.8 million in July and up from $2.4 million in June. Year to date, for the 11-month period ending in August, our net income figures are right at $35 million, which is up from $25 million last year at this date. So our financial outlook continues to be strong. Our expansion at Catoosa, which is hopefully very soon to be named Cherokee Hills Resort and Casino, is about 25% complete, with structural steel at about 75% complete now. From a financial perspective, we are making up for revenues lost on blackjack and finding more efficiencies within our business, and we are preparing for large amount of growth for the next year. And we are preparing from a payroll perspective to beef up our operations there in Catoosa and seek our return on the investment. Broader than that, we are continuing to evaluate plans for growth at other facilities and working out the details on that. Subject to any questions, that's all I have to report right now.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to have a report on Roland's facility on the new
Native Americans and percentage percentages.
Yes, sir. The cumulative numbers for Roland as of August, and this is a total. Cherokee numbers are right at 150, which is just shy of 68%. We have an additional 4 other Native Americans there, which adds another 2%. So we're right about just shy of 70% there at Roland for Native American, with the vast majority being Cherokee.
Appreciate it.
Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. Clark.
Mr. King, we started playing blackjack here. I know it's a hot topic, and people like to know, and we haven't started, when will we have it start?
Councilor, I can't give you an exact date, but I do know that we are ramping up as quickly as possible. I believe that we have the approval from the Gaming Commission, the Cherokee Gaming Commission, and we have moved some of the tables out, and we're in the process of fixing the layout, hiring new employees, and getting them trained. But I can get you the answer on the exact date.
So maybe 30 days or less?
30 days or less, I would say, would be approved.
Any questions?
Mr. President, if I can make one last comment on behalf of my family, I want to say thank you to you and to Chief Smith for honoring the absence of my father. He very much loved this nation, and it was very much appreciated by my family. So thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Next, we move on to the Cherokee Nation Industry Report by Mr. Jim Majewski. And stand up if you can't sing.
You promised you weren't going to pick on me, Joe. Good evening, Principal Chief Smith and Deputy Chief Grayson and members of the council. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the new council, and I look forward to working with the new council on the continued success of the Cherokee Nation. With that, we'll talk about Cherokee Nation Industries a little bit. Total sales for the month of September were $6.9 million, or about 76% higher than the same period last year. Our profitability for the month was $315,000, or about 400% higher than last year. Our year-to-date sales are $12.6 million, and keep in mind that this is for 2 months now. Our year started in July 1st. So we're at $12.6 million, or 33% greater than last year, with year-to-date profitability of about $430,000, or about 360% higher than last year at the same time. Our backlog is in the area of about 65 to 70 million, and we continue to work with sales and customers on improving our open quotes and backlogs. So we have a nice business that's growing very nicely, and it's a profitable business. So our outside audit is complete. We had a brief preliminary meeting with our auditing firm. And if the letter we get from the auditor is similar to the preliminary meeting, we have no major issues. In any case, our audit is complete and now awaiting the final written report. We are expecting that probably towards the end of this month, the end of September. We're also investigating various methods that have been recommended by the auditors to restructure CNI, so we will have some relief in taxes in future years. We are going to pay probably in excess of $600,000 this year in federal income tax. So, or for last year. We had a company picnic, CNI company picnic, on the first Saturday in September. It seemed all the attendants seemed to have a good time, and they all seem to have eaten well. The one thing that I found out about the Cherokee since I've been here, and I don't need any help with that, is eating. So this concludes my report. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Now we move on to new business. First item, confirmation of secretary and tribal council. And right now the floor is open for nominations.
Mr. President. Mr. President, at this time I would like to nominate one of the District 1 representatives for a couple of reasons. One, because of the closeness and the expediency in which they can get here to conduct business if necessary, and also because of his extensive business background. At this time I'd like to nominate Mr. Bill Baker.
Motion's made, seconded, Mr. Bill Baker. Any more nominations from the floor?
Mr. President, I'd like to nominate Audrey Smoke, since she's works here in this area and she's close to the proximity of the council too. So I'd like to nominate Audrey Smoke.
Ms. Smoke, nominated. Any more nominations from the floor? Okay, at this time we'll close the nominations.
I will second.
Are you seconded? Okay, now the nominations are closed. At this time, I'll ask for your vote. Will you raise your hand in favor, please? All those in favor of Bill John Baker, please raise your hand. Okay, please lower your hand, please. All those in favor of Audrey Connor, please raise your hand, please. Okay. Mr. Baker, you've been nominated as Secretary of the Council.
Thanks, sir.
The vote was 8-7. Great. Move on to the second item on the agenda. Confirmation of members of the 5 Tribes Intertribal Council. Ms. Fraley?
Mr. President, those members have not been named yet, and therefore we'd like to table this until a future date.
Okay, the motion is made. Thank you. All of those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion is made and seconded. Carried. Confirmation of standing committee members. Ms. Fraley?
Mr. President and Council, we have met and formed 8 standing committees. And if you'll please refer to the list within your council book there, those are the members that have been named. And if you agree, we'd like to elect those members in toto, meaning all at once, if everyone is in agreement with that. Therefore, I make the motion that we elect all those members as listed in toto.
Councilor Fraley, I'd like to be added to the Language, History, and Culture Committee.
That amendment.
I'll second
Okay.
it and accept the amendment.
Yes, made seconded. The original. Okay. You said, okay, motion is made and seconded.
Mr. President, I might also remind everyone that the committees are flexible. We can be added to the committees at any time we deem necessary, or problems arise and we need to be removed from one, we can do that, but it also takes a formal action of the council once that's done. So this isn't set in stone necessarily.
All right.
Thank you.
The motion was made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The fourth is a resolution authorizing the Family Assistance Department. Is there a sponsor for that?
This is a resolution authorizing the Family Assistance Department to submit an application to the United States Department of Health and Human Services for FY 2004 funding for low-income home energy assistance program. I'll put that in form of motion.
Second.
Motion's been made, seconded. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. A resolution authorizing community service to submit a grant application.
A resolution authorizing community services to submit a grant application to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency Region 6 Office for Underground Storage Tank Training Program for the Intertribal Environmental Council Consortium. Put that in form of motion.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion carried. Six, a resolution authorizing Community Service Division, Office of Environmental Services.
Chair, a resolution authorizing Community Services Division, Office of Environmental Services to submit a formal grant application to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency for Cherokee Nation Universal Hazardous Waste Management Project. Put that in form of motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion carried. A resolution authorizing Community Service Division, Office of Environmental Services.
Chair. A resolution authorizing Community Services Division, Office of Environmental Services to submit a formal grant application to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency for Cherokee Nation Water Pollution Control Program. I put that in form of motion.
Motion made. Motion carried. Not yet. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Moving down to the seventh. Eighth. A resolution authorizing another environmental service grant.
Mr. Chair, I'm going to let my co-chair do the rest.
Number 8. Resolution authorizing the Office of Environmental Services to submit a formal grant application to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency for the Intertribal Environmental Council General Assistance Program, RTOC, Special Project for fiscal year 2004. And I'd like to put that in the form of a motion.
Second. Motion made, second. All those in favor, or any comments or questions? All those in favor, aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carried. Item number 9, resolution authorizing submission of fiscal year 2003 Indian Community Development Block Grant.
Resolution authorizing the submission of the fiscal year 2003 Indian Community Development Block Grant to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. I'd like to put that in the form of a motion also.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor, aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Item number 10, a resolution approving an amendment of the Cherokee Nation fiscal year Indian Housing Plan. Who's presenting this?
A resolution approving an amendment of the Cherokee Nation fiscal year 2003 Indian Housing Plan. I'd like to put that in the form of a motion also.
Question. What are we changing on that?
Harvey Jones.
Good evening. Question.
Yeah, what's the change on that?
There's a couple of changes. One is that the current Indian housing plan was based on an estimated amount,
When we got the final amount, we're adding $250,000, and that's being put in privately owned rehab that will be transferred to the Housing Authority. The other change involves a procedural issues in regard to the last resolution we passed in regarding to the Indian Community Development Block Grant, that we're just including wording in the Indian Housing Plan saying that we're applying for the ICDBG grant, and that allows us to incorporate it in a plan that allows us to get 1 or 2 more points. It doesn't change where the fundings go in that particular case.
Any more questions? Thank you, Bobby. Okay, the motion is made, seconded. All those in favor, aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Item 11, a resolution authorizing the submission of an Indian pilot project.
Mr. Chairman, a resolution authorizing the submission of an Indian pilot project to the Environmental Protection Agency, Region 6, Air Toxics Division. I'd like to put that in the form of a motion.
Motion made, seconded. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor, aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carried. An act amending the fiscal year 2003 comprehensive budget.
Mr. President, this is an act amending the fiscal year 2003 comprehensive budget, Mod 11, and declaring an emergency. This is the budget modification that we passed in the last executive finance meeting, and I move for the adoption of the legislation. It contains 8 elements, and I put Mod 11 in the form of a motion.
Right. Motion made, seconded. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor, aye. Aye. I'm sorry. This is an act and it calls for a roll call vote.
Bill England?
Yes.
Bill John Baker?
Yes.
Barbara Thomas?
Yes.
Carol Thomas?
Yes.
Joe Christie?
Yes.
Meredith Brady?
Yes.
John Garvin?
Yes.
Charles Thompson?
Yes.
William Johnson?
Yes.
John King?
Yes.
Bill Leary? Becky Bob Martin?
Yes.
Giovanni Shoptown?
Yes.
David Moore?
Yes.
Bill George? Yes.
14-1, motion carried. Item number 13, a resolution authorizing the continuation of health services.
I have nothing, Mr. President. A resolution authorizing the continuation of health services for the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for women, infants, and children, also known as WIC, to Claremore Health Services Unit. I'd like to put that in the form of a motion.
Second. Motion's made, second. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. All those opposed? No. 14th item. Resolution authorizing the continuation of health services.
A resolution authorizing the continuation of health services for the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for women, infants, and children with the Indian Healthcare Resource Center of Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'd like to put that in the form of a motion.
Motion's been made, seconded. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor, aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carried. 15. A resolution authorizing the continuation of health services.
A resolution authorizing the continuation of health services for the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for women, infants, and children through W.W. Hastings Hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'd like to put that in the form of a motion also.
Motion's made, seconded. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor, aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Carried. A resolution authorizing the continuation of health services.
A resolution authorizing the continuation of health services for the special supplemental nutrition program for women, infants, and children. And I'd like to put that in the form of a motion.
Motion's made, seconded. Any questions or discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carried. A resolution authorizing a request to lease Cherokee Nation Post Plant.
Mr. President, it's a resolution authorizing the request to lease Cherokee Nation Trust land to the Rocky Ford Fire Department. Excuse me, I would move for approval and read the narrative here. The request set forth in the attached resolution is for a 25-year lease between the Cherokee Nation and the Rocky Ford Fire Department. They will erect their own build and maintain the property. The lease will be for 25 years with all a year of bond and lease fee to be waived. Move for approval.
Motion's made. Seconded. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor, aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carried. 18. A resolution authorizing USDA Homeland Security Fund Program.
President, this resolution authorizing the USDA Homeland Security Fund Program, I would move for approval. And I think read the narrative of that after we get a second.
Motion's made and seconded.
Mr. President, last month we approved a resolution along the same line for $24,316. Well, Mr. Bain, his staff somehow or another come up with the Natural Resource Department be allowed to pay the grant package to the U.S. Homeland Security Program in the amount of $178,700. This grant project, which requires no matching funds, so that's good work on somebody's part to come up with that much more money. Thank you.
The motion was made, seconded. Any more questions or discussion? All those in favor, aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carried. Item 19, a resolution authorizing election law reform. Ms. Craig.
Mr. President, Council, under this resolution, the Council is directing its staff and the administration to submit a proposed revised election law for our consideration within 60 days. The Council is very concerned that this much-needed reform would be delayed. Therefore, they set a time limit of 60 days after approval of this resolution. Now, in the book, the resolution has a scrivener's error. Therefore, we do have the proper one in front of you here that Gina presented. I did have a request that it be amended to amend from 60 days to 90 days so that they would have more time to study this, analyze it, and submit it for council approval. Therefore, I'd like to put that in form of a motion. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any more questions or discussion?
Will we be including the election commission and some of the other folks that were discussed in
the resolution says council staff and the administration. Therefore, I'm assuming that we probably could.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that passing the resolution didn't automatically exclude those groups.
Well, that's not the way it's worded. Is council staff and administration.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions or discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, no. next item on the agenda is the adjournment. And I want to thank all of you.
Mr. President.
Thank all of you for your participation.
Mr. President. Mr. President. Joe.
The announcement of...
Joe. I would highly encourage that we recess in order to conduct approval of the budget by September 30th as mandated by the Constitution rather than adjourn this meeting.
Second. Motion is made, seconded. Roll call vote. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, no. Okay, then. We have... Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. Those of you tomorrow night at the J Community Center at 7 o'clock, we're going to be honoring our former council member, Barbara Scott, in our community, and everybody's invited to come and join us. Thank you.
I would like to thank at least six Rogers County folks that came this evening, because that's kind of a first for Rogers County in a long time, and I appreciate my constituents. We had our first community meeting yesterday, and we had over 60 people in attendance. It was a great success, so thank you.
Mr. President, I would also like to echo that with District 8 members of the tribe here tonight. It's a long trip for them down here from Tulsa, but they've been making it for about the last 3 or 4 months, and I appreciate them showing up from District 8 also.
I'd like to thank our two former council members that has honored us with their presence tonight. We appreciate your tedious work, time-consuming work, your great efforts, and I just appreciate your presence here tonight. Thank you for coming.
Any more announcements?
Mr. President. Mr. President.
Next meeting date?
Mr. President. One more?
Mayor.
I just want to compliment the President on the way he conducted this meeting. Did a great job.
Thank you.
Most of all, I want to compliment you starting at 6 o'clock straight up.
I would like to compliment you on getting done that. Mr. Chairman, yes, I have one also from District 6 over there, David Standing Water. Got one support anyway.
Yes, Ms. Scott.
I would like to invite all of you who are in attendance and those who maybe haven't been able to attend to pass the word. If you would like to be involved or at least sit in on some of the decision-making process, I ask you to contact your council person representative. Right now, our committee meetings are scheduled in the afternoon, where folks who work aren't able to attend. You may be interested, and at this point, you're not able to, which is one of the reasons I'm not on every committee at this point, because I do have a full-time job on the side, I guess. But if you are interested and would like to be involved, I would ask you to contact your council rep. I feel like it's important to include our community, and I've heard that along the way, and so I'd just like to take that time to invite you to do so. Thank you.
Mr. President, I make a motion we recess this meeting.
It's already been. We had a vote.
Motion is made, seconded, and recess. Motion carried. The next council meeting is October the 13th at 6 o'clock. I'm going to keep that in here. Keep it or don't you?